Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Ritt. I'm an artist and a tarot reader, and today's collective reading is very, very full. I just got this impulse to pull more cards than usual on either side, so yeah, more cards and also more artwork, which is really interesting. So I'm getting just this very full, broad picture. So it's going to maybe take me a minute or more than a minute to really take it all in. It feels as if we've kind of been having to get our bearings, having to make sense of maybe just like situations that have thrown us for a loop or just been really difficult, you know, that we've kind of had to make sense of those. And that's the energy that we're coming from. That's what I'm seeing here. So with Six of Swords, we've had to find kind of a well, the words that are coming to me. So this is air energy. Swords are air. Air speaks to our mind, our mental activity, and this is an energy of moving away from difficulty, kind of finding our balance again, getting some relief, sailing into calmer waters. And it's next to this, speaking of water, watery energy with cups. Cups are water. This is a card that speaks to confusion and overwhelm, and sometimes it can just mean having to make choices, having to really discern what choices are good for us and what are kind of superficial or fluffy or not helpful, you know. Here it's reversed. So there is that sense of moving away from what's troubled us, or I remember in the last reading, you know, just that we have so much on our plates. This feels like we've been able to move away from that somewhat and maybe even make sense of what it was all about, you know? And then currently, there is kind of still a feeling of, well, for sure being in transition. And then also, the words that are coming to me are, what have we really gained? You know, there's just this questioning. It's like, well, okay, you know, maybe that really just stunk, whatever we were having to go through. But what now? Like, what, I found some relief, but what now? And I'm getting that with this energy, Six of Rods. Rods and wands are the same thing. They're the fire element. This is a card of triumph. Here it's reversed, and the way it feels to me, it's almost that we don't really believe that we've gained anything. We're not really able to see. Maybe it's that it's easy to overlook our smaller triumphs, and so we're not really able to see them or feel empowered by the work that we've been doing. Maybe there's some of that. Although I will say in my own life, I have been able to receive some of this energy. So maybe I'm not alone in that. Maybe it's that for some of us, we can recognize whatever small triumphs there have been. And for others, it just feels like, okay, that was difficult, but what even was there that I gained? You know, there's kind of a questioning, or even for those of us that have triumphed in some ways, it's kind of like, well, all right, but now what? You know, it's almost like that's almost old news. You know, what's going to happen next? You know, what do I have to look forward to? And I'm also seeing that here. You know, I mean, this is literally a battle scene, and we're talking about triumph here. So that's very interesting as well. And because these are swords and they're air, they speak to our minds. So the words that are coming to me here are, having to move forward. It's like we're having to move forward no matter where we're at, no matter what we've been through. There's this feeling of, well, this could sound really bleak, but reaching a point of no return, reaching a turning point where maybe we can't go back. You know, there's just it's like there's an inevitable progression. No matter how we feel about what we've accomplished here, because this does feel like part of it is we've accomplished something, right? It's in that past tense, even as it's in the present position. So we've accomplished something, but then also there's also that sense of the energy of this has diminished. So it's kind of like, again, for those of us who aren't even able to see what we've accomplished, that also speaks to this position and the energy that I'm picking up from there. But also, we're at a turning point here, and we've had to, well, again, we've had to contend with a lot. And so this is also a decisive energy. And now, again, I'm thinking of that wonderful resource, Tarot Teachings. She talks about that action of cutting out the stuff that we don't want. There's a decisiveness and a swiftness to this energy that also rings true. So we're at a major turning point for ourselves. And then going forward, we have more really, to me, it feels like really empowered energy. We've got Wheel of Fortune. And I know I've talked before about how so often for me, this feels like positive motion forward. It's like, you know, no matter how we feel about it, we've been doing the work for ourselves and we've been getting results, seen and unseen results. I think that's maybe what it is. It's like, and Abraham Hicks talks about this, the human condition is to be dissatisfied at times with what we can't see. Even if we've achieved something major, you know, it's like, but can we point to it? Is it fully manifested? Do we get the money? Do we get the job? You know, where's the glory? You know, speaking of battle scenes, where's the glory? You know, but it feels like all of us have been accomplishing things. And so if we're open to seeing the results of that, even if they may not be quite so fully manifested in ways that really register for some of us, if we're open to owning our progress and owning our personal triumphs, then this energy of positive motion forward can really unfold for us and we can really own it. It's like, yes, that was a step forward for me. That's a way of owning it. You know what I mean? And then this energy is paired with Knight of Swords. And again, I'm thinking of Tarot Teachings and what I've learned from her over the years. And the whole concept of knights being in motion, there's something really cool about that. So even as this is Knight of Swords, which are air, which again speak to the mind, I remember in Tarot Teachings, the author's interpretation is not that he's so big on words. It's not about speaking. It's about getting things done. It's about strategy. So I think of him as strategy in motion. And what this says to me is that we've accomplished things and we're going to set out to accomplish even more. You know, this is decisive energy. It is, I do feel as if it's energy that also runs the risk of losing sight of everything that we've just accomplished for ourselves. This, to me, this energy says, okay, more, more, more. You know, it's definitely that feeling of like, let's keep it going, as opposed to, oh wow, we've really accomplished something. Let's keep it going. You know, it's an interesting pairing because on the one hand, they really go together. And on the other, well, this energy is wanting more. I feel like that's the best way to put it. then again, that's very much in keeping with what resonates for me with those wonderful teachings of Abraham Hicks, is that Abraham talks about how as human beings, we will always want more, and there is always more to reach toward and to aspire to, and to kind of to whet our appetites, and that's actually a good thing because we're constantly expanding beings. So there's nothing wrong with that. But it also just feels like to recognize what we have accomplished while not getting stuck in it is also really important, because I think that it allows us to recognize the power of who we are, you know, and just to recognize the good things that we've brought about for ourselves, you know, that allow us to feel more empowered in what we can do going forward. You know, that there's that, maybe it's even a delicate balance of just the importance of not being stuck in what we've just achieved. And, you know, I mean, if you think about that trap of repeating ourselves, or, yeah, it's, I guess I'm at a bit of a loss for words there, but I do think it's a delicate balance between staying stuck in what we've achieved and having that be everything, because it's not everything, because there is always more. And then so that balance between not staying stuck in that, right, and recognizing the satisfaction of what we've achieved while moving forward. So some of both are important. And so then with the artwork, again, I pulled more than usual, which is interesting. So we have this very full picture, and I am interpreting this as past. It's what I'm getting is we've had to decipher. The words that are coming to me are, we've had to decipher our own mysteries, our own, well, now what's coming to me is, maybe it's that we've had to read the subtext of different situations. We've had to decode. We've had to go deep, you know, with whatever situations we've been in, whatever's been on our plate. We've really just had to go deep and maybe approach from an unconventional place, you know. I know for myself, the way this has shown up for me, I've had to make decisions that feel right from my wiser place, but that feel really big and scary and kind of vulnerable from my human place, you know. My human place isn't always able to trust my inner wisdom, which is really interesting, and kind of a hard place to be. You know, if I stay there too long, I could really drive myself crazy. So we've had to tap into those inner mysteries of life, and this energy, to me, the more I read with it, the more it just seems to, that meaning seems to solidify there, you know. And then this energy feels like onward and upward, you know. To me, this is so much about really recognizing our desires. You know, what have these difficult situations caused us to desire and reach out toward achieving in new ways? You know, what new directions have we wanted to move in as a direct result of the difficulty of what we've been through? You know, and this is, again, very Abraham Hicks. What have those difficult situations caused us to want for ourselves going forward and reach for going forward? You know, so I'm getting that energy here as well. And then, to me, this very much speaks to Knight of Swords, because, and this message keeps coming up with this energy. We're building something, and we're building something more. You know, there's just that feeling of like more, you know. What new structures have we been yearning to form from all of these little bits and pieces? You know, what are we wanting to shape here? it feels as if this is about reaching for more and also envisioning more for ourselves. And there's actually something really cool. When I think about it, this is the role of the artist and the inventor and countless other creators, to be able to see a structure where there is none currently, where maybe it is just disparate bits and pieces, to be able to see a structure, to have a broader vision, and then to follow through on that is really, really exciting. And this is Abraham's point. So often, these exciting visions wouldn't have come about if it weren't for the difficult situations that we've just been through, that we had to make sense of, and work through. So to me, this is a really exciting place to end this reading, because there's kind of an open-endedness here. There's an inherent possibility and, well, wide openness going forward. I think of my high school yearbook, the slogan, and I thought it was so corny at the time, right? Or I just didn't resonate with it at all, but the future is wide open. And now just more and more and more, that actually feels like it, not only does it ring true, it comes up in my readings, just the energy of it is right here. We have what it takes to build new structures going forward. And that is really, really exciting. So I'm going to end this reading there. I hope that you all have really satisfying creative journeys going forward. And for those of you interested, please check out my Patreon. It's a wonderful way to support me and to support this channel. It's a community that I'm growing. And yeah, that's all I'll say about that. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.